faked cancer, wrecked my dad's credit, and left him and my sister on the curb. I grew up with my dad popping in and out because of his marriages, and by the time he married Francine when I was 21, I already knew not to expect much from her. She smiled at holidays, gave joint gifts with my dad, and left events early. She never asked about my classes or work, just when I would marry and have kids. With her, little rules piled up fast. She told her daughter Hannah not to drink juice, made comments about how much she ate, and acted like any smell could knock her out. One visit she scolded me for the shampoo I used. The next time it was my perfume. After that, it was smoke on my coat from visiting my mom and grandmother. She said she was allergic to corn syrup, red dye, yogurt, or peanuts. Then I'd see her eat those things a week later. Because of the constant complaints, we saw my dad less, so we wouldn't set off Francine. It felt like everything had to be about her comfort and her limits, and we learned to keep our distance. In April 2022, she told my dad she had stage 4 lung cancer and maybe a year to live. He was crushed, and we supported him because that's what you do when your parent is scared. That December, my grandmother, who raised me like a second mom, got the same diagnosis. She went downhill fast. I moved home, took a leave from work, and helped my mom with hospice. My days smelled like hand soap, broth, and rubbing alcohol. The house was quiet except for the oxygen machine in the kettle. I sat by her bed and wiped her face and tried to feed her a few bites. When she died in early February 2023, I broke. I was in therapy twice a week, and my counselor watched me closely because I had relapsed on old self-harm urges. While we were pulling ourselves together, life kept moving. My sister started meds. My brother chased a promotion. I turned 26 and started planning with my long-term boyfriend. I needed to figure out health insurance by year's end because I would age out of Francine's plan. I sent Francine a calm text asking if there was a date I'd be taken off so I could set up my own coverage. She sent a long reply about how she had cancer, and the only time I reached out was when I needed something. I told her straight, the phone works both ways. You didn't check on me when my grandmother died or when my other grandmother passed the year before. You don't know I'm about to graduate nursing school, and we're not close because you never tried when I was 21. I said we weren't friends, let alone family, and I just needed a date to plan responsibly. In private, the pieces wouldn't stop clicking. Francine said she was allergic to chemo and was doing coffee enemas and juice cleanses instead. She said she'd had surgery, but I never saw a scar. She didn't look sick. My mom and my boyfriend both said they thought she was lying, and I realized I had already been thinking the same thing. In August 2023, she sent a photo from a month-long trip to upstate New York and Canada. She and my dad were smiling by a lake. She had good color and was hiking and taking boat tours. I asked my brother and sister if they thought it was real. My brother said it felt off. My sister wouldn't answer and asked why our dad would lie if he believed her. I pointed out that he almost never went to appointments and just repeated whatever she said. If we asked follow-ups, he sighed and said he didn't know. It felt like a story she told him, and he carried it to us without looking too hard. Hannah, who had to live under all of Francine's rules, apologized to me for her mom's behavior. She said she didn't understand what her mom's deal was. Then Francine started talking about moving to upstate New York for healthy air and healing. She pushed my dad and Hannah to go. Both of them told her no. I kept my distance and kept notes. I studied for exams, showed up for my clinical hours, and tried to stay steady. But the feeling that she was performing sickness to control everything kept getting louder. The week of Thanksgiving, the mask finally slipped. Francine told my dad and Hannah they had to get out because the house wasn't really theirs. She said she had old debts, and her ex was taking it back. She broke a key off in the lock so they couldn't get in to grab their things. She took money from my dad and opened credit he didn't know about, then used his name to buy a house in New York. His credit tanked overnight. She sent him short, angry texts from a new address while he stood outside with bags on the walkway. I didn't have a way to take them in, and it killed me to say that out loud, but I kept answering calls and tried to help him find a place to sleep. People started asking questions she couldn't dodge. Family pushed. Her story bent, then cracked. When she was asked about her cancer, she didn't have records that matched the things she'd told us. She changed dates. She changed doctors. She was fine. My dad finally saw it for what it was. The marriage ended ugly and fast. He was heartbroken and ashamed, and it hurt to see because he is my dad, and I still love him. He said very quietly that none of it was real. Now my dad is blaming me for doubting her illness. Was I out of line?